The President invites foreign job agencies to join to expand tourism industry. Venerable Gnanasaratera and Hirunika Premachandra have been released on bail. Teachers' trade union action is a failure. It is alleged that some trade unions are attempting to create a rift between teachers and students. An MOU was signed to issue interest-free loans under the Agri modernization program. Chairman of the SLBC lodged a complaint at the CID. Joe Biden withdraws from the US presidential fight.
On to the stories in detail now, starting off with local news. President Ranil Wickremesinghe stated that if foreign employment agencies focus on attracting tourists to Sri Lanka from the countries where they supply labour, including the Middle Eastern countries, the Ministry of Tourism will provide the necessary facilities.
The President made this announcement during the Abhiman 2024 event held yesterday at the Epitome Hall in Kurunegala. During the event, President Wickremesinghe also presented certificates and commemorative gifts to foreign employment agencies that significantly contribute to the country's economy. President Ranil Wickremesinghe said that we have confidence in our ability to face the future. He said that many countries around the world are asking us how we achieved this. He said that we have repaid our debt to Bangladesh, a country currently facing a tense situation. He added that we pray for peace and stability in Bangladesh, which supported us during our difficult times. He added that we must now focus on the future. He said that our country should transform into an export economy. The President said that a formal program must be implemented to develop the skills of workers going abroad and provide them with the necessary training. He added that this will enable them to secure better job opportunities and earn higher incomes, benefiting both the individuals and the country. The President said that he believes you can bring business opportunities to Sri Lanka from countries where our citizens are employed, especially from the Middle East. Minister Manusha Nanakara said that at a time when some people pursued power at the expense of the public, President Ranil Wickremesinghe stepped forward unconditionally to alleviate their suffering. He said that his effective diplomacy was evident during the severe economic crisis 2 years ago. He said that within this period he managed to build an economy that allowed the oppressed to thrive. He added that supporting this economic vision, migrant employees channeled their earnings to Sri Lanka through banks, resulting in $12 billion in foreign exchange this year alone.
Colombo High Court today ordered former parliamentarian Hirunika Premachandra, who has been sentenced to 3 years rigorous imprisonment, to be released on bail. Colombo High Court Judge Amal Ranaraja gave this verdict. Accordingly, she will be released with 50,000 rupees financial bail and 2 surety bails, each worth 500,000 rupees. The court also ordered to ban her from going abroad. Hirunika Premachandra was proven guilty for 18 charges, including the abduction of a youth working in a shop at the Matagoda area in December 2015. She was sentenced to 3 years rigorous imprisonment and a fine of 360,000 rupees. Lawyers appearing for her informed the courts that she has appealed against this verdict and requested to release her on bail. The Colombo High Court also ordered today to release Secretary of the Budubala Sena organisation, the Venerable Galagodate Gnanasaratera, who is serving a 7-year prison sentence under the charge of insulting Islam, to be released on bail. Colombo High Court Judge Aditya Patabendige issued this order. Gnanasaratera has filed an appeal before the Courts of Appeal against this sentence. Lawyers appearing for the Thera requested the courts to release their client on bail. However, the Colombo High Court rejected it. Later, the Thera had presented a revised petition and the appeals court has ordered to release the Thera on bail. Accordingly, the Colombo High Court released him on a 50,000 rupee cash bail and two surety bails, each worth 500,000 rupees. The fundamental rights petition filed before the Supreme Court, requesting to include all development officers who are serving as teachers in government schools at present to the teaching service, was settled today. In addition, The Additional Solicitor General Viraj Dayaratna, appearing for the Attorney General, told the Supreme Court that over 25,000 such development officers will be interviewed and qualified officers will be included in the teaching service. Accordingly, subjected to a maximum age limit of 40 years for and 45 years for provincial schools, the relevant recruitments will be made. The Additional Solicitor General also informed that the recruitments will be done after the relevant cabinet paper is approved. After noting these conditions, the relevant petition was settled by the Supreme Court.
The Lanka Teachers Association has started a Work to Rule campaign. They said that the Work to Rule campaign that commenced today will last for 2 weeks. However, several trade unions in the education sector say that they do not want to join this trade union action. Teachers and principals trade unions started trade union action several occasions in the recent past. They have started this campaign since they have not yet received solutions for their problems. It is reported that despite the trade union action, school activities were carried out successfully. Meanwhile, several teacher and principal trade unions said that they do not support this Work to Rule campaign started by Lanka Teachers Association. General Secretary of the Lanka Independent Teachers Association, Chandimal Virakori, said that we study how to continue Work to Rule campaign after the completion of the 2-week period. Again, we have to work as usual. General Secretary of the Graded Principal Association, Nimal Mudunkotua, said that principals have decided to boycott the ceremonies that are attended by politicians. Through this action, we inform the legislature about our problems. Principals intend to get their problems solved legally and democratic manner through the parliament. Some say that principals also work to rule. The teacher trade union leaders has no right to talk about principals. Meanwhile, Minister
දෙනට කරුණා කරලා ඔබ ගුරු සංගම් ගැන කතා කරන්න ගුරුවරු ගැන කතා කරන්න විදුහල්පතිවරු ගැන කතා කරන්න ඔබට අයිතියක් නැහැ විදුහල්පතිවරු ගැන කතා කරන්න විදුහල්පති සංගම්.
Meanwhile, Minister Susil Premajant expressed views in this connection at a media briefing held at the President's Media Centre today. Minister Susil Premajant said, now there is an election process in the country. The Election Commission may issue guidelines regarding transfers, appointments and payments of allowances. Decisions on these matters cannot be taken without the consent of the Election Commission. However, some politically motivated trade unions are attempting to continue such trade union actions to gain political mileage.
The signing of the Memorandum of Understanding for the provision of interest-free loans to agribusiness entrepreneurs and farmers under the first phase of the Agriculture Modernization Program took place today at the Presidential Secretariat. The MOUs were signed between the Bank of Ceylon and the Regional Development Bank and the Ministry of Agriculture and Plantation Industry, who are the key contributors to the initial phase. Accordingly, MOU with the People's Bank are expected to be signed in the near future. In this first phase, 650 million rupees have been allocated to implement projects through agricultural modernization centres in 26 divisional secretariat divisions selected for pilot projects, with a total of 75 divisional secretariat divisions identified. In the implementation of agricultural modernization projects within the DS divisions, more than 30% of the project costs are covered by agribusiness entrepreneurs and farmers, with the remaining 70% funded by the government. A cabinet memorandum presented by President Ranil Wickremesinghe to establish and implement this system has been approved. The loan concession period is up to 6 months with a maximum repayment period of 5 years, including the concession period. The agriculture modernization centres determine the specific concession and repayment periods based on the loan amount and the nature of the project undertaken by the farmers or agribusiness entrepreneurs.
Moving on with more local news, Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena says that public servants should achieve their service for the country thinking not as a responsibility but as an obligation. Such service will help the people to have a brighter future. The Prime Minister made these remarks at the opening of the new Divisional Secretariat in Jayala today. This office has been constructed with modern facilities. The Prime Minister also distributed papers of land rights for a group of squatters living in unpermitted lands. Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena said that divisional secretariats should provide service to the general public mutually. All services for the public should be provided under one roof. It is the responsibility of the ruling politicians to encourage public servants to achieve their service efficiently. Governor of the Western Province, Marshal of the Air Force Roshan Gunatilaka, Ministry Secretary Pradeep Yasaratna, top-level public officials and several others were present at this occasion. Meanwhile, a Pirit chanting was held at the temple trees today to invoke blessings to Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena in line with his second year in office. Later, the Prime Minister went to Paliyagoda Vidyalankara Pirivena and engaged in religious observances. He also had a mutual discussion with the chief incumbent of the Pirivena, Venerable Valamitiyave Jnanaratana Thera and Mahasangha.
Opposition leader Sajid Premadasa says that people-centered common man's era will be created under his rule. He made this comment to the media when he came to visit the Sri Dalada Maligawa in Kandy. The opposition leader worshipped the sacred tooth relic and received blessings. Later, he met the guardian of the Sri Dalada Maligawa and executive member of the Asgiriya chapter, the Venerable Urulevate Dhammarakkita Thera. Opposition leader Sajid Premadasa said that maximum measures will be taken to eliminate corruption, fraud and theft. The island will be transformed into 24 hours developing country. The legal system will be made efficient and equal for all. An independent ruling system will be created to achieve public service without political interference.
Leader of the National People's Power, Andhra Kumara Dissanayake, who is on a visit to Japan, met with the Japanese State Minister of Foreign Affairs, Suji Yoshifumi, this evening. The focus of the attention on Sri Lanka's existing economic and political situation and the long-term friendship between Japan and Sri Lanka. They also discussed the measures to promote a diplomatic and economic relations between the two countries. Director of the Department of South Asian Affairs, Sutsumi Taro, and Deputy Director Iwase Kichiro and several other Japanese officials and several representatives of the National People's Power were also present at this discussion.
The Ministry of Tourism signed an agreement with 4 other ministries to strengthen tourism sector. The aim of this agreement is to promote the place of tourist value in these ministries. Accordingly, the agreements were signed with the Ministry of Health, Ministry of Buddha Sasana, Religious and Cultural Affairs, Ministry of Urban Development and Housing and Ministry of Wildlife and Forest Conservation at the Tourist Ministry premises today, and this was under the patronage of Minister Harin Fernando. Ministers Dr. Ramesh Patirana and Vidura Vikramanayake and top officials of other ministries were present at this occasion. Under these agreements, sanitary facilities in the places of tourist value in these ministries will be enhanced. Several more programs are scheduled to be conducted as well. Vehicle licenses were also distributed among some persons who are engaged in tourism industry in this occasion. Minister Dr. Ramesh Patirana said that to support this program, health security will be strengthened at public places. Facilities in the Dambulla, Pothuwil, Disamaram and Bandarawela hospitals will also be developed under this program. Minister Harin Fernando said that 130 million rupees from the funds of the Tourism Ministry will be utilized to develop facilities in other ministries. Especially the money will be spent to develop facilities in the Urban Development Authority, Ministry of Cultural Affairs, Wildlife, Coastal Conservation and Health Promotion. As a pilot project, the sanitary facilities in common places will be developed.
More local news. State Minister Premita Bandara Tennakon says that students are slated to be enrolled for the Dambulla Technical Faculty of the Sir John Kutulawala Defence University in January next year. He made these remarks participating at the opening ceremony of this faculty yesterday. Therefore, should be developments in human resources for national development. The State Minister added that this technical facility and the faculty is constructed under the guidance of President Ranil Wickremesinghe. State Minister Premita Bandara Tennakon said that the major problems of the government had to be solved is to establish political stability and national defense and rule of law in the country. He said that we have taken decisions with the President risking our political future. The State Minister added that they are committed to safeguard the country. 2 years ago, we couldn't even think of establishing a technical university in this area.
The newly constructed Buddha statue at the Sri Lanka German Railway Technical Training Centre premises in Ratmalana was unveiled to the participation of the Minister Dr. Bandula Guruvardhana. This statue has been constructed in line with the 3 months remembrance of the Railway General Manager, late HMKW Bandara. Minister Dr. Bandula Guruvardhana provided the funds for the statue from his private wealth. This Buddha statue of Samadhi pose, constructed under the Anusasana of the founder of the Umandava Buddhist Universal Village, Siri Samanta Bhadra Thera. Minister Dr. Bandula Guruvardhana said that people who visit this place will be able to worship this Buddha statue and get blessings until the railway workshop exists in this place. Chief of Presidential Staff and Senior Advisor to the President, Sagala Ratnayake, emphasized that just as the country was saved from the economic crisis by making unpopular decisions, similar decisive actions are necessary to control the spread of floods and dengue. He assured that positive results of these measures would become evident in a few more years. He made these remarks while participating in the inauguration of the flood response and anti-dengue campaign organized by the Sri Lanka Red Cross Society, Colombo branch, held recently at the Taj Samudra Hotel in Colombo. Chief of the Presidential Staff and Senior Advisor to the President on National Security, Sagala Ratnayake, said that in the event of a disaster, the government, along with various associations and countries, spends a significant amount of money on relief efforts. He said that, however, if we take proactive measures to mitigate flood situations before they occur, we can save considerable more money than we should spend on flood response. He said that dengue has also reached a critical situation. He said that if we as citizens fulfill our responsibilities properly, dengue will not spread like this. He said that therefore we must make laws to control this situation. If we do not, the country will not progress. He said that even though Colombo is poised for rapid development, if it floods after development, that progress is rendered useless. He said that we must ensure development that avoid submergence.
Chairman of the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation, Hudson Samarasinghe, has lodged a complaint at the CID today. He was there for about 2 hours and told the media that he came to the CID to inform the threats raised against journalists. Chairman of the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation, Hudson Samarasinghe, said that he came to the CID to present a report on the threats posed against journalists. If the journalists do not have freedom of expression, democracy will soon be threatened.
Former Minister Ananda Kularatne says that the President Ranil Wickremesinghe should be permitted to build the country. He made this comment opening a zonal office of the UMP in Hambantota area. The UMP zonal office of the Hambantota Municipal Council area was declared open yesterday under the guidance of the Hambantota zonal UMP organizer, Dr. and lawyer Priyankara Mahaga Mulla. Hambantota zonal UMP organizer, Dr. lawyer Priyankara Mahaga Mulla said that Ranil Wickremesinghe has been isolated by social media and other media platforms. However, even with the support of his political opponents, he has become the president of the country. He has been able to save the country at this serious juncture. Former Minister Ananda Kularatne said that the program carried out by the president is not properly activated within the village. Therefore, we have to popularize this program through social media platforms.
The Ministry of Health has received 9 refrigerated trucks procured by UNICEF with funding from the government of Japan to further improve the delivery system of vaccines to all children across Sri Lanka. The trucks were handed over by Ambassador of Japan to Sri Lanka, Mizukoshi Hadiaki, and Acting Chief UNICEF Representative in Sri Lanka, Begona Arleano, during a ceremony held at the Ministry of Health, and they were received by the Minister of Health, Dr. Ramesh Patirana. The trucks are part of a total contribution of $3 million from the government of Japan that funded cold chain equipment, including large walk-in cold rooms to store vaccines at safe temperatures, portable vaccine carriers, and temperature monitors, which have already been handed over to the Ministry of Health intermittently from 2021 to date.
This is the third occasion, Excellency, participating in this kind of donations during my tenure as a Minister of Health. First, we witnessed you donating multi-million dollar worth equipment to Jayawardhanapura Hospital. Then we participated again at the time of donating billion rupee worth fuel to Sri Lankan health service sector. This is the third occasion that we witness your donations forthcoming in the area of strengthening medical supplies to Sri Lankan people by way of donating refrigerated trucks and the double cabs. So our health facilities and the human resource factor, the doctors, the nurses, the paramedics, going down to the bottom level, the junior workers, everyone contributed significantly even during time of COVID. But since of late, because of economic calamity, our services went down a little. But it has come back to normalcy within a short period of time. It's a very resilient structure we have, because of that we should be able to bring it to another it's world-class level again within a short period of time. That's why we are bringing in these health sector reforms. With that we should be able to give nuances, create new strides towards strengthening our health sector, for which your donations have also come at the correct time. So I thank again the UNICEF and the people and the government of Japan having come forward to strengthen the health sector, and we are looking forward for better cooperation in time to come. So
donation is much needed at a time where we are moving ahead with transformation. And we particularly focus on primary healthcare reforms and negotiated with the World Bank, and Cabinet has approved it, Treasury has approved it, and we are getting 45 billion rupees. Each year at least 10 billion we will getting from the next month, from August, to reform the primary healthcare services in the country, to give a comprehensive integrated services to the public of this country who really deserve it. So
it is with immense pleasure and deep honor that I address you today as we celebrate a momentous occasion in our long-standing partnership with Sri Lanka. Today we gather not only to commemorate our enduring friendship, but also to reaffirm our unwavering commitment to supporting Sri Lanka's public health initiatives, particularly in the realm of immunization services and healthcare enhancement. Japan's dedication to global health security has been exemplified through our collaboration with the COVAX facility and other international frameworks. Together, we have worked tirelessly to ensure equitable access to safe, effective, and quality-assured vaccines for all nations and regions in our collective endeavor to overcome the challenges posed by the COVID-19 pandemic. In addition to our financial contributions to the COVAX facility, Japan has actively promoted vaccine donation initiatives. Guided by our domestic manufacturing capabilities and the request of the international community, we have tailored our support to address the specific needs of each country and region, including Sri Lanka.
I extend my heartfelt congratulations to Sri Lanka, and in particular the Ministry of Health, for their dedication to maintaining high coverage in the immunization program. This achievement is all the more remarkable considering the challenges posed by COVID-19 pandemic and the current challenging period the country is facing. The commitment of the staff within the Ministry of Health, the epidemiology unit, and across the districts is truly commendable. As this esteemed audience is well aware, vaccines are delicate and require stringent temperature control, even during transportation, to remain effective. The need for the refrigerator trucks was a critical gap identified in the cold chain equipment analysis conducted by the epidemiology unit.
The Institute of Chartered Accountants of Sri Lanka unveiled a special logo in Colombo recently in celebration of its 65th anniversary this year. The logo symbolizes CA Sri Lanka's rich heritage and unwavering commitment to professional excellence. It also represents CA Sri Lanka's core values of collaboration, excellence, nurturing and integrity, while highlighting its achievement over the past years. The new logo was unveiled at a press conference graced by CA Sri Lanka President Heshana Kuruppu, CA Sri Lanka Vice President Tishan Subasinghe, members of the Council, past presidents, members and other stakeholders. The Institute of Chartered Accountants of Sri Lanka takes great pride in being the changemakers of Sri Lanka's accounting arena. For over 6 decades, these professionals have been the vanguard in developing the accounting profession across Sri Lanka, while also playing a vital role to ensure the accounting profession continues to be an important catalyst in the success of Sri Lanka.
Artificial intelligence, blockchain and data analytics have also revolutionized the way we work, enhancing our insight, accuracy and efficiency in reporting and auditing process. In order to upskill and reskill our members have been our priority, and we have developed several programs in these areas, and those will be offered through the business school. The world is embracing the trend of working from anywhere. As we nurture world-class talent, our members will have new opportunities, including accounting as a service export. We are well positioned to meet the increasing demand for knowledge process outsourcing and business process outsourcing. This initiative supports our small and medium practitioners and provide opportunities for youth exploring career ahead.
The final Perahera of the historic Ruhunu Mahakataragama Devalaya Asala Festival paraded the streets last night.
The Asala festival concluded today after the water-cutting rituals performed at the auspicious time of 9 a.m. The final Perahera paraded to the Kirivera last night and achieved a special traditional ritual before the Kirivera Pagoda. The casket with the sacred relics was placed on the back of a Tusker Raja by the former President Mahinda Rajapaksa and Chief of Presidential Staff and Senior Advisor to the President on National Security, Sakala Ratnayaka. As the tradition carried out from the King Dudugamunu's era, a part of the income of the Kataragama Devalaya was offered to the chief incumbent of the Kirivera, Venerable Kobavaka Damminda Thera. Later, the Perahera arrived at the Walliyamma Devalaya and came back to Ruhunu Mahakataragama Devalaya premises. Well, that's a look at local news. Stay with us. Foreign news is coming up next.
වායු සමනය සෙල්සියස් අංශක 26 තබමු. අංශකයකින් උෂ්ණත්වය අඩු කළ විට 4%කින් විදුලිය වැයවීම ඉහළ යනවා. අඛණ්ඩ විදුලි සැපයුමකට සහාය වෙමු.
And we're back with foreign news. President Biden is out of the 2024 election and backing Vice President Kamala Harris to take over his mantle in November.
This raised questions about what the polling can help United States glean about her chances against former President Donald Trump. A growing number of Democrats had thrown their weight behind Kamala Harris as the party's presidential nominee, including some considered possible challengers, in a sign the party was embracing her as its champion. Kamala Harris will need to secure the backing of at least 1,986 Democratic delegates to secure the party's nomination. So far, Kamala Harris holds at least 531. Still, some notable Democrats, such as the former President Barack Obama and ex-House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, were not endorsed the vice president. Former President Donald Trump stated that he will continue to campaign against the Biden administration's record and will remedy the damage he had done very quickly.
Kamuda machan, prima kotumi, fantamai.
Lots of action at the R. Premadasa Stadium yesterday. Jaffna Kings became the champions of the Lanka Premier League cricket tournament.
They beat Galle Marvels by 9 wickets at the finals played in R. Premadasa Cricket Stadium in Colombo. Batting first, Galle Marvel scored 184 runs for 6 wickets in their allotted 20 overs. Bhanuka Rajapaksa scored 82 runs. Asita Fernando claimed 3 wickets for 35 runs. In reply, Jaffna Kings passed the victory target in 15.4 overs, losing only 1 wicket, while Russo scored 106 runs not out and Kusal Mendis scored 72 runs not out. In bowling, Dwayne Pretorius claimed 1 wicket for 18 runs. A special light tattoo display was also conducted at the grounds using drones.
Kamuda Machang, prima kotumi, fantamai.
Well, that was a look at your news here at Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation. I'm Siobhan, together with Sharon. Wish you a pleasant evening. Take care.